Alright, so now we have the final fight between Wonder Woman and Thor. For this fight, we have Rune King Thor versus the Antichrist Wonder Woman. To go over a bit of their character, Rune King Thor is a version of Thor that basically went through these same trials as Odin, but took them a step further. Instead of giving one eye to the will of Mimir, he gave both of them and basically gained nigh omniscience. He also acquired the powers of the Rune and the Odin Force, which was basically become the Thor Force, which made him more powerful than Odin. As for the Antichrist's Wonder Woman, this is Diana when she had dipped her lasso into the World Forge in a way to basically bind all of the history of the DC multiverse together. Essentially making the history of all the multiverse basically become one truth. As in, there were no retcons. She basically just bonded all of those stories together. And she emerged as the Antichrist's Wonder Woman. Antichrist's energy is basically all of the positive energy in the multiverse. So the speed force, emotional spectrum, and all of these 7 energies of creation are essentially what the Antichrist's energy is. And it is basically the pure version of the energy that is given to beings like Perpetua from the presence or the source. With Thor's power, he was able to basically one-shot a weakened man god. He was able to easily defeat Loki. He destroyed the Yggdrasil tree, which basically contains a multiverse. He even went so far as to become one with the universe as he went into basically his Odin sleep. But we can factor that since he has the Odin Force, he basically has all the abilities of his father, except those abilities are amplified to an unknown degree. With Wonder Woman, she was roughly compared to the Batman Who Laughs, who was stated to be more powerful than basically all the gods in the DC multiverse. When he gained the remaining power of Dr. Manhattan, it was stated that there was no other god that could beat him except for Perpetua at that time. And after he beat her, he took her powers. And that's the one that Wonder Woman had to fight. After gaining more power through the connective energy, she was able to punch the Batman Who Laughs so hard that they went from the beginning of time all the way to the end of the entire multiverse. And these are beings that are arguably just as strong, if not stronger than Perpetua. And Perpetua and her sons are vastly superior to people like Mr. Mxyzptlk. You know, the 5th dimensional imp that could literally wipe out all of existence with the snap of his finger. The Batman Who Laughs was even confident to say that he had the power to destroy the Hands, which are a super dimensional beings from inside the void that travel throughout the void, creating entire multiverses. Thor was able to destroy the World Tree, which essentially contained, or at least held up, a multiverse. But Wonder Woman was fighting with beings that their battle raged across every dimension, across all reality outside the multiverse. I think Wonder Woman can take this fight.